Okay, so apparently 40 plus questions. I doubt I'll get to all of them, but let's get started. Bob wants to know who the certifiable backers I hate and who the ones I hate the least. This ties in perfect with Keith's question of, do you really care about us? Really? No. And as for who I like the most versus the least, CD, you're okay in my book, girl. You're okay. Now, who do I hate? Now, here's the hard thing, because it is easier to name the people I like. But that'll actually, as odd as it is, upset some of the people for not naming them on my most hated list. I bet true. So I know I've got to put way up top Angela. Gotta hate her the most. But she's right next to Steven. Hate him too. I can't not hate Oates. Patrick. And who else do I hate? Now I know I'm going to tick some people off because, like, I didn't make your list. Oh, and Jeeves, I hate you as well. Ray wants to know, where do babies come from? Vaginas. Mark, when will certifiable t-shirts be on sale? We've done a lot of talking about the dog mud shirt in particular, and Corey, if I'm correct, Mr. Corey, is also looking into a reasonable way for us to do it so it's affordable for you and it makes sense for us, because last time I did it was just a headache. So we are still looking into it, and by we, that's going to be an Ask Corey question when it gets to his turn. Mike Pascal wants to know, who is my favorite GoBot? Yes, GoBots. The poor man's Transformers. Now, we all had that grandma who said, oh, Jesse likes those Transformer toys. I'll get him one of these. And that's how you get that GoBot mixed in amongst all your high prime quality toys. I had to look it up because I was not really a GoBots fan. But the one I had was the one I liked. And I think from looking it up, his name was Leader One. He was the little gray jet, and he just to me represents GoBots. So I'm going to have to go at Leader One if I had to choose from the poor man's Transformers. Lucas wants to know what games are coming out after D6. Now, Lucas was not very specific. He didn't say what certifiable games are coming out. He didn't even say board games. So, Lucas, this seems like a really pompous question. That's a lot of games that are coming out after D6. I mean, countless games. So I'm just going to name two that I'm looking forward to. Two games that are coming out after D6. Contra. Know very little about it, but I think it's coming out in 2020, I believe. But I'm a big fan of Contra, so I'm going to say Contra, the board game. Second, I am looking forward to River City Girls. Now, this is not a board game, but I'm a huge fan of River City Ransom, and that's a game we played on the Nintendo, or the Super NES, I think. No, the regular Nintendo. And it was a blast, and if you haven't seen anything on it, look up River City Girls. It's pretty badass. Okay, Tyler wants to know, what is Sugar Suita? It's only the largest candy production company in Japan. The leading sponsor in Tech Tokyo. I hope I'm saying this right. Mane? Mane wants to know what my favorite cartoon as a child was. That goes back to GoBots. Transformers! I like Transformers so much. I kid you not, I got grounded for my poor grades in school, and my mother grounded me from watching Transformers. So yeah, I was a big fan, and still am. G.I. Joe as well. Funny fact, early cartoons, and I didn't watch them, but I actually watch now a lot. I really like The Real Ghostbusters, but I rarely watch that when it was actually on. And Beetlejuice. Awful cartoon, but it's my guilty pleasure. Sharon K, or Sharon K, wants to know what our next campaign is going to be and when. It's supposed to be this month. We're really pushing for this month, but it's always larger than we think it's going to be between the videos and the actual how-to and the rules and all that crap. But we are actually working on it right now. I think everybody in here, almost everybody in here, is working on our next campaign. I won't tell you what it is, but I will give you a hint. Sugar Suita. Jay wants to know how I pronounce the little apostrophe, the little accent mark after my name, LeBay. It's LeBay. Funny story, I'm the only one in my family who spells it L-A-B-B-E. My dad, my brother, my mother at one point spelled it L-A-B-B-I-E. And on my birth certificate, it's L-A-B-B-I-E. But I had later found out that my grandpa God rest his soul, was not an educated man, and somehow, way, shape, or form, his name was translated from L-A-B-B-E to L-A-B-B-I-E. So when I found that out, I started spelling my name. So I'm the only person in my family that spells it that way. And recently my dad had showed me that it was in fact on my grandpa's certificate, birth certificate, L-A-B-B-E. So it's pronounced LeBay. Dorian wants to know, how much time do I spend with Key? Not very much. In fact, very little. In fact, I don't have that many interactions with him at all. We'll probably have to do an Ask the Interns question where we could maybe put Key and Anna Kate in the same grouping so y'all can talk to them. I know very little about him or Anna, so there's that. Jordan wants to know, when is the expansion for Stuffed? I have no idea. I don't even know how we would do that. I know the burdens we added on there is a fun little cute expansion, but I don't really know how we could expand that, or even how popular that would be. But I am taking suggestions. Ah, yes, Elsa. She wants to know the meaning of life, and this is apparently a pressing topic. The secret and the meaning of life is that it ends. Chris wants to know, do I have a favorite piece of art? I do. Now, you didn't ask me if it was my art, so it kind of left it open-ended, which now the scale is huge because there's so much, and it's so hard to narrow it down, so I'm going to kind of go outside the box. I'm not going to name my own stuff, or anybody here. I'm going to say something kind of off-topic. I'm going to say one of my favorite pieces that strikes me right now as I sit here is Ashley Wood has a piece that has caught my attention for years now. It's like these robots walking out in the street, these armed mech unit robots walking down the street, and there's like Jeeps in the road and stuff. It's very dusty looking. I don't know what it is about that picture, but I absolutely love it. Have always loved it. Edward wants to know, with all my French style, if I could sing the French national anthem. I cannot. But Corey and I just discovered we can sing Yellow Ledbetter and screw up every single word to it. Timothy asks, F1, kill one, marry one, orphans, D6, who goes there? Go. First question I'd have to ask, are any of the orphans over 18? Okay, so I will kill an orphan because that's what they're expecting anyway, and they have a very, very low life expectancy rate. Marry one. I'm going to have to say, if I got to spend the rest of my life with one, it might have to be D6 since it has a solo mod. And to F1, I'm going to have to say who goes there, because the thing could look like anybody I want. Which leads to Georgie's question, if I could be with any hot celebrity I wanted, would I eat a rotten peanut butter sandwich? Yes, I would. I would even dip a pickle in mayo and put it on that sandwich for some of that action. But who? That wasn't the question. Sheriff wants to know if we're making a new non-astronaut type of game, and if so, how sweet is it? Is sugar sweet? Papa Coffee wants to know, if a train left San Diego at 8 o'clock local time, headed east at 80 miles per hour, then on the same day another train left Dallas at 9 a.m. local time, headed west 50 miles an hour, when would they meet? Depends. If the train was boarded by Washington and Pine, they'd meet in the middle. Steven wants to know if we're going to have Beast cloned. He's never going to leave me, ever. We don't need to have him cloned, ever. Angela, my least favorite, wants to know, who is the laziest cat? My cat, Kiku, or Beast? I'm going to have to give it to Kiku, winning the lazy category, because at least Beast runs towards food. Kiku just kind of rolls towards it. Jacob wants to know what my favorite mechanic is for a game, and if we have a unique mechanic being developed for an upcoming game. And the answer is yes. The second one. First, yes, my favorite mechanic is probably, I like resource management. Haven't really done too much with it as of now. But yes, I am playing around with two different things. A resource management dexterity game, and a resource manage / deck builder. And that one's being tricky because you start finding that the resource management is the purpose of deck building. So really pushing that, trying to get that to work, excited about it. But the dexterity resource management, super simple on the management and super simple on the dexterity. You mix those two together. That's what I'm playing around with right now. So fingers crossed. Roy wants to know who my favorite person that is no longer at Certifiable. Gosh, so many come and go around here. I'm going to have to go with Amber. Amber. I'm going to say Amber. She still comes around every now and then, so I have to say Amber. She knows where I work. Roy also wants to know, what is Beast's favorite game, Certifiable game? I'm going to say D6 because it has the most parts for him to knock off the table. I think we found more D6 parts on the floor in the morning than any other game we've had. Brett has 3 questions. I shall answer the first one now. On to the second. Have I seen the new Godzilla movie, and did I like it? Yes, I saw the new Godzilla. Of course I saw the new Godzilla movie. And yes, I did like it. I found it to be a little bit of a remake of Godzilla Destroy All Monsters from way back in the day. My critique on the new Godzilla movie would have to be the length. It's like over 130 minutes plus. And that's just a long movie for it to be Godzilla. Because we all know why we're there, to watch the monsters smash shit and fight each other. So that was awesome, but it had this weird story thing going on that was just kind of out of place. And you see what they're trying to do, but you're like, it just doesn't belong in this Godzilla movie because they couldn't focus on it. Point is, the story just drug on. It was unnecessary. I bet I can get Nay to edit 20 minutes out of that movie. It wouldn't change it at all, but it would make it a stronger monster movie. And third, he wants to know, American Stickman, where is it? Really funny you should bring that up. David wants to know if I had any favorite horror fiction writers. I don't. I don't read that much horror fiction. Love sci-fi movies, especially classics, anything from the 50s and 60s. Really enjoy those. But I'm not a big reader of sci-fi. And the next part of his question was, who came up with the idea of making Who Goes There into a game? And contrary to my first answer, I was reading the sci-fi Who Goes There. But I was reading the book because, I love all 3 major motion pictures based after Who Goes There, which is the 3 variants of The Thing. And they all say based after the novella Who Goes There. So I said, you know what, I gotta read this book. So as I'm reading this book, there was no way that gaming mechanics didn't start popping into my head, and I approached Rick the very next day and said, hey, how can we get the ball rolling on this? Is this even possible? And voila, we now have Who Goes There. Oates, one of my least favorite backers, wants to know Disaster Yes or Disaster Nots. This is a tricky question because a Disaster Yes is not a Disaster Not. So if I say Disaster Yes to Not, that means I'm technically not creating the yes at all. So I think I've answered most all of these questions that were gathered up for me. And until next time, next Thursday we're probably going to be doing other employees here, so keep your questions coming. If I didn't answer any correctly, that's your fault for not asking them correctly. Have an awesome week.